Great. So next, if you can squat again for us. And coming back up. Good. So again, in a case like this, when somebody's squatting and they have an asymmetrical squat, they're leaning more towards the right or left, you want to make sure that they don't continue squatting like this, otherwise they can wreck their hip on that side, they can injure their low back in the long run. So previously what I did was testing for weakness in the hip stabilizer here, in the case where the client is leaning more towards the right side. And just as an added bonus, instead of doing a muscle test to confirm that there is something wrong here, there's something called a Babinski reflex. So that's where your foot is supposed to respond a certain way if there's stimulus added. So I'm going to bring a chair for you to sit down on. Take a seat. So if you can take your socks off, both sides. Good. So Babinski reflex, if it is dysfunctional, what that's going to do to the client is that they're going to have all the muscles in the posterior chain of muscles, your calves, your hamstrings, your glutes, your back, your neck, they're all going to be inhibited, or they might be weak. They're not functioning quite right. So they'll always have this tension in the back, and it's also going to contribute to this asymmetry in the squat. So this is a very easy activation or test. All you're going to do is by lifting your foot up and just relax your leg. Okay? What I'm going to do is to just run my finger on the soles of your feet. So a normal response for Babinski reflex is when I do this, the toes are going to curl down. The abnormal reflex is when the toes actually go up. So we want to make sure that when I do this, the toe curls down like that. This is what we want to see. Sometimes there's absolutely no movement with certain clients. So what you're going to do is to just take your fingers and just gently run it up the soles of their feet. You can just do it for about 10 reps. Sometimes they'll find it ticklish because she has really good reflex here. And then we're going to check the other side over here. And you can stand up again. So when you go to have your client squat again, squatting down one more time, you'll see a nice symmetrical squat. So the way you're going to check this is you can use a plumb line if you want to. You can use your phone and record before and after just to check for the symmetry in the squat. And take a seat. So what you can do is, for the nerves or that Babinski reflex to be normal, you might want to stimulate them early in the day. So before you start your work day and you put your socks and shoes on, you can stimulate that either with the way I just showed you now, or if you have a lacrosse ball, you can just roll the arch of your foot on a lacrosse ball. You can use a dumbbell handle if you want to, and just do it for 30 seconds on each side before you start your day. Prior to doing your leg day training, if it's a squat, then you can just take a lacrosse ball with you, or you can just run your fingers on the soles of your bare feet prior to squatting. And that's gonna correct or give you the symmetrical squat, and you won't have that asymmetrical squat problem.